Hey Milo, you ready to go?
Hi everybody, we are in Wilson Village, Wisconsin tonight. I tried to stack up some pillows so Milo would be up here and could participate. I don't know how long she'll stay. Every time I try to keep her in one place, I think she thinks I'm going to cut her nails, and so she's not sure if she's happy or not. Yeah. You're not sure you're happy? We got this month's October's question and answer, or November, but I guess it's going to air November 1st, so I guess we should say November's. November question and answer. And a grouchy kitty cat. Where's Grouchy? Are you grouchy? You're grouchy every time we do this, you know that? It's because I'm trying to contain you. Cats hate to be contained in one spot. I'm going to let her go here in a minute. She has to make an appearance, at least for a second. I'm actually going to take my glasses off because the glare from my light's bothering me. I'm really blind, but I think I can handle this without my glasses. What are you growling about? Huh? I'm holding you? I'm making you sit in one spot? She was running around here like just an absolute idiot earlier. Alright, she's done. Maybe she'll come back. You're gonna just sit over there in the camera. You're gonna sit over behind the camera? You are? You'd rather do that than sit in the front where we can see. Don't knock my glasses off, you little turkey. You little turkey, don't knock off my glasses. Now, she might come back. I'm going to put this back over here. Let's see. She's going to sit where she thinks she's got the camera shot. I actually have a few questions this month. Not many. So a lot of times I can't help myself and I answer when somebody makes a comment. But not everybody sees the response, and this might be something that other people have thought about. So let's see what some of our questions are this week. My first one is, does Milo ever try to get out? No, Milo doesn't try to get out. She looks like she's going to sometimes. She'll sit on the seat and she pokes her head out, or she'll sit on the floorboard when I'm opening the door and look out, but She doesn't try to get out. She's real cautious. She's currently hiding in her tunnel. She's real cautious, and she doesn't like the loud noises of the trucks running, so or traffic. So she's safe in the feels safe in the truck. But I mean, even if I carry her from our house, hi baby, to the truck, if I have the truck running to warm it up, I have to hold onto her really tight. She doesn't like to be near the truck when it's running. So that's kind of a deterrent to keep her from trying to jump out, isn't it? If we've been out several weeks without getting to go home and get out of the truck, she's a little more interested in looking outside. So, maybe if we didn't get home frequent enough, she would eventually try, but so far we haven't had any issue. If she ever does, she does have a collar with a tag on it that has my name and phone number, her name, our company's name, and my truck number on it. And she's also microchipped. Aren't you? So we have several ways of getting her back if anybody else got a hold of her. Ideally, it'll never happen and it won't be a problem, but that's why she has the collar on with the tags, just in case. You never know with pets. Let's see. What made me decide to start driving? Financially, actually. I had been a bus driver for, I think, almost 7 years. School bus driver. Went back to school. I got a job in my field of study, which was media communications. I worked at a TV station. I honestly almost made more money driving a school bus. Not much money in that if you're not the personality, or if you live in the Midwest or somewhere that, not one of the coast or one of a major city. It just doesn't make very much money. So my children were all grown pretty much, for the most part. My youngest now is 20. So I started driving when he was still in junior high, but we had no small children at home anymore. And make quite a bit more money driving a truck. It's definitely worth it. So financial was the main reason I decided to start driving a truck. And driving school buses. I drove large vehicles before, so it's not something I was afraid of. How did I know Milo would adapt to riding in the truck? Milo chose to ride with me. We live out in the country, and Milo was one of our barn cats. We adopted her from the Humane Society with another cat, primarily to be a barn cat. Well, something happened to the other cat, so she was mostly by herself until Soot and Cinder showed up. And then eventually, I was home loading stuff in my truck. I had the doors open. She's back. Had the doors open, getting my stuff in the truck, getting ready to go. And she had done this before, but I'd always caught her. She'd get in the truck while I was putting things away. And this particular day was super early in the morning and it was dark. And she snuck in while I was loading the truck up, and I didn't realize she had gotten in the truck. And she'd crawled back in the back and was asleep behind the pillows. And she waited till I was almost an hour away from the house, and I hear, meow, don't knock over the camera. No, she's behind the camera. I heard meow coming from the back. I did. It was you. And at that point, I went, well, I'm not taking you home now. So I guess you're riding with me. So we stopped at a Walmart and picked up what we absolutely had to have her in the truck. And she's pretty much been in the truck ever since. The first several times we'd get home and I just open the door and let her out. She'd go back out to the barn with Soot and Cinder. Didn't you? Don't knock over the camera. And then when I would leave again, I'd see if she'd want to go, and she'd come and get in the truck, and we'd go again. And now she just rides with me all the time. She's been in the truck with me for enough changing of seasons. She's not used to being outside anymore, so she would not do as well outside all the time anymore as she used to. And Soot would be about right, but Cinder decided she doesn't like her, and they fight. So Milo gets to be a truck cat now. Okay, so the most asked question. The top number one question I think we get asked, and I mean everybody asks. We get people that run into us in the truck stop parking lots, at the fuel islands at Sear. Everybody asks, don't they? And that question is, what do we do about the litter box? It is a pretty small space, isn't it? And so what we do is we have a top entry litter box that is in the floorboard in front of her seat, because that's honestly wasted space anyway for me. With just one person in here, it'd be just storage. Got one of those top entry litter boxes that just looks like a big Rubbermaid box, honestly, with a hole in the lid. So she gets in there and jumps in it usually from her seat. And I use a crystal litter. I think they absorb the smell the best. They're awful for tracking. You get litter all over the place, so we have to vacuum frequently. But right now we've been using Pretty Litter, and it's actually, I think, the best litter for odor absorption. I mean, I can't, within a minute of her going potty, I can't tell. You can't smell it anymore. So, and that litter, if you scoop it out, you scoop the solids out frequently. We do it once or twice a day, depending on how often we need to do it. It really does last not quite a month, but I bet you can get 3 weeks out of it before you have to actually change it. It is non-clumping. You just give it a stir, pull out the. I mean, they're not lying about that. If I was in a house, I think, where I wasn't having to sit, right next to the litter box all the time, I think it would last a month. But even in this closed space, it lasts 3 weeks, and before I change it, and it's just starting to sort of smell when I change it. So that's and frequent cleaning, frequent scooping, and that Pretty Litter. The worst part really is that it sticks to her paws and she tracks it. So we have to clean that up pretty frequently. I've got a little tiny shop vac in here, and I try to vacuum every couple of days to get the hair and the cat litter up. She's sitting on the floor trying to figure out what's going on. Are you gonna come back up here? Doesn't know if you might hang on to me again. Come on. Come back up. Those are the questions I had written down. There weren't a whole lot. I may have missed one or two. Anything I didn't answer at all on the videos, in the comments, I think I wrote down. Most of those, I think I did answer the person who asked the question, and then, because it wasn't that involved. I think the one I didn't answer in the comments was probably the how did I know Milo was going to work and be a good truck cat? Because that one was kind of complicated. That was a long answer. And not many cats this would be a good fit with. It takes this particular type of cat. They gotta be pretty laid back and not afraid of everything. If you had a really jumpy, flighty cat, this wouldn't work. The question about how do I keep her from getting out of the truck, it's because she's really laid back and pretty easygoing and not a jumpy, flighty cat. I think if she was one of those that just scares and runs real easy, those are the ones that would get out on you and run off, and then you'd not be able to find them. So not every cat is a good candidate to ride in the truck. Are you coming back? She's just gonna sit down there and look at me again. She's really silly. That's what we got for you this month, guys. Not a whole lot. Keep asking questions if you think of anything. We'll be happy to answer. I usually try to give a short answer in the comments. I'll do a long answer in the video. Milo, be silly. Come here. There's gonna be no catching her. I was gonna catch her to say goodbye, but she's wound up now. She's a little wound up now. There she is in her tunnel. You silly thing. Pretty girl, aren't you? Huh? Well, we're I feel like she's gonna attack me. Hi. She's gonna get my hair. That's what's gonna happen. Can you get my hair? No? Okay, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. The question and answers. And like I said, if you the red dot went between us. Oh my goodness. You coming back? Oh my goodness. If you guys think of anything else you want to ask us. I'll try to save it, and we will answer you next month, and we'll talk to you later. You guys all have a good day, and we'll talk to you again on Monday.